Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to today. Let's tap into the energies. Energies were a little wild there for a second. Oh, hello. Yes. Beautiful. Welcome. I'm glad you are here. Let's tap into the energies of today and see what messages come up for us. That's what we do here. We tap in and we see what kind of messages are for us. Oh, joyful. Joyful energies are abound. You just gotta find them. They're stuck in between all the other rubbish, like gold specks. You gotta sift through. Create your own sifting station and only accept the gold. Look at that. I needed water and there's water right there. So having faith that what you need will be within arm's reach when you need it. Brilliant. Excellent. And we'll take it. Okay. Let's see what the Arcturians want us to consider at this time. Anything? Ooh, we got one. Dude, I got a drop of water. How'd that happen? That's what's happening. Oh, there's another drop. Yay! Okay. We've got whatever this one is. Not over there. Confirmation. The energy of confirmation tells us that our consciousness is developing rapidly. Everything we think is actually confirmed. If we think or live based on fear, this fear will indeed be confirmed. Develop the power of thought and create what you really want. Then your wishes will be confirmed. Okay, so beautifully tied in to the channeling that was happening before the card came out, which was to create the sifters in your mind and only focus on the gold, right? Only accept confirmations of your greatest and highest timeline, of your dreams and wishes and desires, of your hearts. Of your hearts. It's like confirmation bias, right? We only look far enough to confirm what we think is true. Holy, it's a flock of, it's a giant flock of ravens, a flock of crows. I know they're called something else. A flock of crows. Ooh, maybe instead of murder, they can be called a blanket. A blanket of crows. Yay! There's that energy we were tapping into right at the beginning. Joy. Okay. Wunjo. Beautiful. Confirm joy and joy will be confirmed. No, something like that. Believe in the joy and the joy will be confirmed. Okay. Wunjo is a joyful hummingbird. The hummingbird is joyful as he dances in between the flowers. His happy energy and satisfaction and harmony with life brings his wishes into being. He dances his dance, surrounded by the jewel-like flashes of his friends and family. Wunjo, with its ecstatic energy, is a most welcome rune in a reading. It has a certain bittersweetness as the final rune of the first et, bringing the whisper of change or a shift like the first rays of a sunset after a perfect day. When this delightful rune pops up, you can expect joy, fellowship, and harmony. A symbol of well-being, it brings love, prosperity, and fulfillment. Keywords: joy, pleasure, belonging, kindreds, and prosperity. The most gorgeous rune we could have picked today. I'll take it. That was a raven. Okay, crows. They're on the move. Oh, they're gathering. They're gathering in the trees behind me. So far I only see 3, so not quite a blanket. More like a dish towel. There's a dish towel. Oh, there's 4. What? That's okay. Just calm down out there. If there's more than 10, I will show you, okay? That's the deal. The blanket of crows. There's something about that blanket of crows. Okay. Let's do it. Let's fall in love. Even if your voice cracks, it is better to express than to not. This is how we learn. This is how we grow. This is how we evolve, is to speak out loud what we think we know and have someone say, that's not right. And then we're like, oh, okay. Well, if I would have kept that to myself, I would have never learned, right? Okay. Side message. Oh. Queen of Wands era, okay? Standing in your authentic power, trusting in your intuition, shining and protected, anchoring in the power of the sun, planting it and growing prosperity. This is taking light and anchoring it in so that it can bloom and become part of the earth. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful Queen of Wands. Okay, authentically speaking your truth, being in your nest. Being in your nest. Okay, protecting your gorgeous liquid sunshine. The overflow, the process of filling. All of these things. I feel like the crows are distractions, right? It's like the dark spot on a white wall. Your eye goes right to it. And right now the sky is white, and so all the little black spots of crows moving around keeps catching my eye and bringing me out and away from this joyfulness, right? And this is why this protection is here, because it's about focus, it's about momentum, it's about those kinds of things. Okay. Hold in the joy vibe, because there are a lot of things that can take us away from joy, right? Even our own brains, our own makeup and belief systems that are tied to, I cannot feel joy if there's suffering in the world. Well, then you're never feeling joy, because there's always going to be suffering in the world, right? And so joy maintenance, that's the goal. To stay in joy, to live in joy, to feel in joy. 1111, to breathe in joy, to breathe out joy, to spread joy, to inspire joy. Joy is the word. Okay. And when you're not in your joyful state, meditate. Okay. Ground, center, connect. Root in, plant. Quiet. Recenter. Consider. Right? Look at the things. This is also giving me, allow yourself time to process and deal with things that come up for you in a protective state, right? When you are not preoccupied and busy with lifing, and then you're suddenly, that's not a good time to self-examine, to consider, to feel the feelings, to heal and release it, right? This is about permission slips, giving yourself the permission and the space and the time in a productive environment, right? It's giving me those rooms that you can rent. They're like chaos rooms. I don't know what they're called, but you basically put on a bunch of like overall gear and eye protection and helmet and all this stuff, and you're given like a weapon of choice, some sort of baseball bat or club or something, and then you get to break things in a room, right? And it's a perfect example because you're preparing yourself, you're setting a time away, right? You have to book this time, and you're giving yourself permission to be destructive in a controlled environment. And this is what this is giving me, okay? It's still important to feel, to heal, to process, to release, to recognize, to learn, to grow, to evolve. And we are taking control of where and when we do that. Okay. And what this does is it allows for the things that need to be released, but it also puts us in control of when. We can be more in the moment joyful when we know that anything that comes up, we can deal with in a productive way. Something like that. Okay. Let's see what else is coming up for us. So beautiful. This is what the joy was talking about. Okay, these are the gorgeous relationships of all kinds that are drawn to you, that you are pulling into yourself. Look at the joy that is overflowing and spilling all over this card. Like-minded, right? Youthful, childlike play, exploration, and sharing. Beautiful. It's also because it's right underneath this card, right? It's like sharing your overflow, sharing your liquid sunshine with those who are also sharing theirs, their liquid sunshine. Something about mirroring what you give, right? What you give, you receive. What you put out there, you receive back. So this is why it's important to have a controlled environment for when you are giving, which is examining, pulling out, and releasing is a way of giving it over to the universe, giving it away, right? So that you are not doing this with anything other than joy, love, peace, harmony, gorgeousness, right? And there's a time and a place. I feel like there will be some who will be able to hold whatever it is that you have to share. Not because you need them to carry it for you, but as a way to bond. Bond. Okay. Oh, so we've got the Three of Swords coming out. Okay, this is that heartbreak. And I feel like this is what we are, what we have healed, what we are considering, what we are making sure we don't pass on, right? It's like unhealed wounds when we're in this stage reflect back. And when we share, it reflects onto them. And so when you don't heal those wounds, this is why we end up projecting or carrying forward issues that end up repeating in every relationship. It's because we're superimposing the unhealed wounds onto each person, right? And when you heal those things, when you give yourself the space and time and to heal those things, and you get to this point where you are overflowing liquid sunshine, then liquid sunshine will be returned. It's like the reciprocation, right? What you put out, you give, you get. What you put out, you get back. So put out liquid sunshine, you receive liquid sunshine. It's easy. It's easy. I mean, it's only took me 40 years to get to this point. Okay, we've got things happening in behind the scenes here. We've got your faith that things are happening, that the seeds that you have planted are growing, are germinating, are taking root, are doing their thing, okay? And we've got the subtle but stabilizing support of the universe, of our invisible realms, of our ancestors. I'm going to put that over here. Okay. So we've got moving out of troubled waters into calmer waters. During this stage of self-reliance, of personal evolution, growth, right? This is the independence card. Stable, secure, in your own, holding your own as best as you can, right? This is why we don't judge ourselves with others, because we are in our own path. And so one person's definition of holding one's own can be very different than someone else's. And it's nobody's business, just what that means for you. Okay. But this is how you have done it. You have secured a safe space for yourself, a sanctuary space, a place that you can go to do these things, right? To self-reflect and to ground and release and heal the things and allow the seeds to grow. This is the movement away from choppy waters. You need to feel it to heal it. This is a recognition. I don't want to feel this way anymore. What do I got to do so that I can release it, so that I can heal it, so I can let it go, right? This is the process of moving yourself out of torment and turmoil into peace and serenity. Okay. There's a helicopter going over. And the hermit fell upon the 9 of Pentacles. Okay, and this is that pulling away. This is that private journey of going within. Only you can do it, right? Only you know all the ins and outs, the feelings. Only you can find the core. People can help you facilitate. People can be there with you to encourage and create a safe space for you to do the deep diving, but you're the only one who has the map. You're the only one who sees the things when you're in there and can recognize, oh, that's that thing. That's the thing that needs to heal or really be released, or whatever the case may be. Okay. So we've got justice, and this is exactly it, right? What you put out, you get back. That's what justice does. You put out joy, you receive joy. You put out love, you receive love. You put out healing beautifulness, you get back healed beautifulness. This is the way the world works in some weird kind of way. I mean, there's also caveats, right? It's like there's collective karma, there's ancestral baggage, there's all kinds of stuff that we need to work through. But this is another part of the hermiting process of finding your way, finding your path, leading you back to your center. Okay, and then we've got the temperance. This is process, this is balance, this is trusting that all the things are part of the process. Okay. This is the recognition that, what's the opposite of joy? Despair. We needed to taste, touch, learn, understand, and be in despair in order to develop the necessary gratitude and appreciation for joy, and to be able to recognize it. Okay, and then we've got the spiritual garden. Okay, and that is where you always end up because it is internal process, internal growth, internal recognition, internal release, internal growth, and joy comes from within. So the tending of your spiritual garden will get you there. Okay? And so will the Queen of Hearts, the Queen of Cups. This is you tending your spiritual garden so that you can become a Queen of Cups. This is you going within and mastering your emotional state. The Queen of Cups is who you become. Queen or king, right? This is the being. The king is the doing, acting from the heart, being from the heart, right? This is your process of becoming an overflowing cup, one able and willing to share liquid sunshine with others. The liquid sunshine is the sweet, sweet sauce of yummy, joyful gorgeousness. That's what we want. We want the sweet sauce of yum. Okay. Let's get a diamond archetype for us in this time and space and place of joy. Right? Confirmations. Confirming our process of becoming, or confirming the process of becoming one who lives from a place of joy. It's not all rainbows and sunshine. You have to earn it, to do the work, right? It's easy to look at somebody smiling and happy and enjoy and be like, they must have never had to go through it. And it's like, it's the simple fact that they have gone through it that emboldens their joy state. Okay, a bunch fell and I didn't even look at them because there's too many. Okay, just one. The sword, a 62. Look at this balance. Light and shadow. Not lightning. And the lightning. It's giving me this, because the sword with this Knight of Swords here, right? Sword of truth and sword of release, cutting away, creating boundaries, speaking truth, all of those things. And this sword kind of being the dividing line. It's also giving me this Six of Swords, right? The movement from choppy into calmer, from shadow into light, from black and white into color. Okay, the sword. The kiss. The knife, the blade, the weapon. To use the sword is to decide. The blade separates one reality from another. The choice is made, and all else falls away. If you find the sword in your grasp, you can no longer hesitate. This weapon requires a clear and decisive mind and a willingness to act. An onlooker may think the sword bearer is hasty and violent, but the most compassionate and responsible gesture is one that is honest, swift, and accurate. Our first encounter with the sword is at birth, when the cut we share with the mother is cut. This moment defines our separation from her and begins our journey of becoming ourself. We must make these cuts again and again if we are to grow. Decisions shape our life, and the sword is an infamous shaper of destiny. Beautiful. There's also a pen and a pencil, paintbrush. I keep showing you and it keeps just being blurry. So that's giving me that speaking your truth part as well. Okay, cutting through, when in light, cutting through what is essential. Cutting through to what is essential. When in dark, hasty, backstabbing, a dull and painful blade. Boundary making, prioritizing, and clarifying are all gestures made possible by the sword. The sword is a metaphor for the pen and the brush, the artist's fierce and graceful tools. Contemplate the Buddhist philosophy of the first and second arrow. Swing the sword once with precision and commitment. More than that will be painful for everyone involved. Beautiful. Yeah. I mean, I immediately went to something super graphic. Like when you're cutting somebody's head off, right? You want to just do a quick slice through and it's done. You don't want to have to go back and hack a bunch of times. Okay. Just for future reference. Okay. It was Game of Thrones specifically. This is what happens when you fill your mind with all kinds of stuff. Comes out. Okay. Woo! We got turkey tail block. Okay. This is the things that need to be cut away quickly and efficiently, decisively. For the good of all. And it's a number 4. Where is there a blockage or stagnation in your life? It's time to focus on building your energy and defenses so you can shift this stuck energy. Chinese medicine says if there is debris in a creek causing it to be blocked, do not lift each heavy piece out of the way individually. Instead, build the flow of water so its force moves the debris on effortlessly. The creek or river is our blood and qi. Qi. And the debris is stuck energy, repressed emotions, and the accumulation of fluids that need movement to transform them. When we build ourselves up on the inside, we give ourselves a better chance of pushing through obstacles within and outside of ourselves. Turkey tail is effective in cancer treatment. Cancer is the proliferation of cells in an abnormal state. What that is, an overgrowth of cells. Ask yourself, what has triggered something in my life to grow out of control and dangerously? Is something you have left unchecked, grown to a point that is no longer serving you? Or is there someone or something in your life that is no longer for your highest good? It is time to look around you and inside yourself to find what stands in the way of your flow and remove it. By making this stand and strengthening your energy, you allow the life force that moves you to flow naturally, bringing balance and harmony back into your life. Okay, and I feel like this is that self-examination, right? If you're not feeling joy on a regular basis, if you're not seeing confirmations of your greatest and highest timeline of the joyful state, then there's some things that need to be looked at and considered. And cut away decisively, right? To move you out of those choppy waters into calmer, beautiful, overflowing, reciprocating, gorgeous waters, right? Let's get an animal oracle. Let's get one animal oracle. Yeah, these wounds. Ooh! Oh my goodness. These wounds are what keep us held back, right? Or what keep us from taking risks, putting ourselves out there. Okay. I'm just going to do a general lay because all things happen for a reason, right? So when cards fall on the floor, I always feel like that's like pay extra attention from spirit. We've got the hyena, the dragon, the elephant, the deer, the turtle, and the swan, and the dolphin. Okay. So these guys were all together here. Okay, the hyena, the elephant, the dragon, the turtle, and the deer. And then we've got another pile here. That is the swan, the dolphin, the sea serpent, the gazelle, and the wolf. 5 and 5. We've got 2 5s and a 10 here. Or 2 5s and a 10, yeah. 2 5s make a 10. And there's one more card face down right in the center underneath this board. I'm going to go crawl under there and get it. What is it? The otter. I love it because the otter is the joyful, playful, right? Joyful playfulness. Gorgeous. Okay, so I don't know how. I feel like that's I mean, it is definitely a lot. We're just going to get a general feeling here. The hyena takes care of, like, it's a scavenger, right? It scavenges to survive. I feel like this is your old transition stuff, right? Because the elephant is the remover of obstacles, like Ganesh, right? Sometimes they put obstacles in your path so that you step up to overcome them. The dragon, I feel like, fierce protector, but also burns away all of the things that are not serving. The turtle represents that slow and steady wins the race. This is that process, right? The temperance. Things take time, and there's this dragon underneath it, which is a beautiful confirmation of this process of heating and cooling, of your patience with yourself as you evolve, right? And then the deer, this earth energy, this is giving me that tapping in, that reconnecting with your heart space in this process. Okay. And then on the other side, we have the wolf and the gazelle, which is interesting that they're together. The wolf is actually earth as well. And there is the lone wolf. So it's giving me the hermit, but also fiercely protective of their kin, of their family, right? The alpha wolf actually follows behind the rest of the pack because it can it's protecting the slow, the young and the old, right? That kind of lag back. And they are also able to run to the front if they need to. It's such a beautiful emperor type energy because the emperor does things for the good of all, right? Then the gazelle. This is, they jump like crazy. They're high jumpers. So they're tasting freedom in every bound, right? And I feel like this is something, this movement, I don't know what that is, the predator to prey. There's something there. And then the sea serpent, this is that it's giving me the seed at the center, right? It's kind of like infinite possibilities with a recognition of the cycle of death and rebirth. There's a time and a place, process. And then the dolphin and the swan, I mean, joyful, gorgeous, and then love, right? Self-love reflected. This is also what you are, what you put out, you get back, right? You're in a state of love, you receive love. And that is a beautiful thing. So I feel like this is transition. And then the otter. We're going to read the otter here. I recommend, if you are feeling called to this lay of cards here, the splay of cards, that you look them up and consider what each of those represent for you. I feel like this side is your process of healing, growing, evolving, overcoming, and progressing. And then over here, we've got residual of that as you move towards love, your heart, and joy. Okay, so otter is water. Unobstructed joy, playfulness, and contentment. Okay? Perhaps the most joyful creature within the animal spirit deck, the otter represents absolute bliss. Otter energy is the playfulness of a child available to us at any age. They have a giddiness and reverence for life itself, without the presence of doubt, worry, or skepticism. Imagine yourself with a little more otter energy. What would life look like? What would it take to bring you there? The otter card begs these questions and wants to transport us to that precious place as soon as possible. The celebration awaits. What a gorgeous confirmation. Okay. Yes. Let's confirm joy. When in balance, full of love and needs nothing, all things that you need will be within arm's reach when you need it. When out of balance, gloomy and sighs and makes silly excuses, and to bring into balance, dance party or celebration. Okay? Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful confirmation of joy. Okay. Gratitude is another way to bring you into a joyful state, right? Go on a rampage of gratitude and appreciation. Start listing off all the things you are grateful for and let it build and overflow and what is it? Percolate. Yeah. Set clear boundaries. Okay, this is what we were getting from this card, right? This swift, decisive action. This is not going to work for me. You want a clean cut, no hacking. Okay, release the resistance. Yeah, let it go, let it flow. Okay, the Queen of Cups is very much in her flow state. She is not forcing anything. The other beautiful thing about choppy waters and calm waters is you are more able to see where you're actually at, right? When you are looking through choppy waters, you can't see what's going on beneath the surface. When you are in calmer waters, you can see your perspective is different. Your knowledge and what you know, what you see, how you feel, all the things are more accessible for you to make better decisions. Okay. Treat yourself. Do something joyful, right? Like it can be easy. It can be something that when you engage in it, when you eat it, when you play it, when you climb it, when you, whatever you do, brings joy to you, do more of that. Okay. And look, we got gratitude again. Okay. Double gratitude. This is a beautiful way of getting yourself into the right attitude. Have an attitude of gratitude and see what kinds of joyful bubbles start to percolate. I just want to say percolate. Okay. Okay. Gorgeous. Okay, one charm or two. Beautiful. Dragon confirmation. We got the dragon. This is burn away. This is let things go. This is protection. Protect your treasure, right? And burn all those that are not, will not appreciate your treasure trove. Okay, and we also have the cheetah. So this is fast moving energy. This is, now is the time. Now is the time. Also sprints, right? Short, fast bursts. Something like that. Okay. There is the reading for today. Okay. Yes. So, yes, we've got the wounds, we've got the self-reflection, we've got your communication and your boundaries and your cutting, we've got your, like, your releasing, we've got your movement through your connection to your spiritual realms. This is part of this process, this self-reflection, right? This is scavenging, finding all the little jagged pieces and tearing them down, right? And third eye, dragon power, protection, beautiful, slow and steady wins the race. Don't judge yourself based on how long things are taking. Things take as long as they take, right? It's just like any beautiful, we all have our blooming time. And you're not running out there because the bloom isn't blooming on the day you wanted it to bloom and you're just pulling it open, right? And then this deer, this is that returning to innocence. This is that reconnecting to your heart and earth, right? Earth, heart, green, all of the things. And then over here, this is your goal, right? Of authenticity and joy, is to find this balance between your fierce protection and your gorgeous beingness. This is all part of the process of creation, right? This is like the seed that you trust. in behind the scenes are happening. And then we've got joyful beautifulness here. Okay. So, yes, yes, yes. I love you, appreciate you. And I am wishing you all of the love and the good, sweet juice, joy sauce. Okay. Good luck and hope to see you next time. Bye for now.